Hey guys, it's Russell back, and on today's video we're going to be continuing our Walmart Clean series. So on today's video we'll be testing the Blackmagic Wet Shine Car Wash. I have absolutely no knowledge of this car wash other than what I can see in the bottle, and it's extremely thin. I've never used this, and we're going to find out together how well it does. As with all of our other Walmart Clean videos, I'm going to be using the same dilution ratio, both in the MTM style submachine gun foamer and in our hand bucket. Reading the back label is pretty much a carbon copy of the other soaps that we've tried. This one says to use 1 ounce per bucket. Usually that means 1 ounce per gallon. We're not going to be using that ratio. We're going to be using the ratio, as I said before, that I've been using to keep everything consistent. It does, however, say that this is a pH or neutral friendly cleaner, which will not strip wax or sealant. And as I've told and explained before, that's very important when you're doing a maintenance wash on your vehicle. So without further ado, let's go on outside and see what kind of performance we can get from the Blackmagic. Alright, I went ahead and got my solution. I've got 10 ounces of warm water and 2 ounces of our Blackmagic car wash, and let's see how this foams. Well, this foam is quite thin. I kind of expected that, seeing the way that the viscosity in the bottle. It has a very tight foam structure, but it's got a lot of medium and larger size bubbles that are present in the foam that's on the paintwork. It's very runny, for sure. I had to actually go over this side another time, but it's weird because it's almost like this is a two-stage or a two-layer foam. Kind of, I believe there was another soap that we had tried that did this same, had this same kind of anomaly. It seems like the initial foam that goes on the top layer sheets off rapidly, but it does appear to have a stronger grip, probably from the tighter foam structure, so that's on the bottom. It's actually clean. It's probably from maybe a little bit of electrostatic attraction, but anyway, I'm going to let this sit on here for about 7 minutes and we'll come back and see what it looks like. Alright, so here we are. This is 9 minutes later, and it looks like most of the soap on the side has dissipated. It's still clinging pretty good on the top. Also keep in mind that right now it's cloudy, so there is not much sun or heat getting to the paint like it normally would, but it's not too bad. But let's I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off, and let's see if it was able to remove the non-bonded contaminants. Okay, so the Black Magic rinses off very nice and clean. It doesn't seem to leave any residue at all. We can confirm that it does not remove our wax or sealant protection. And it seems to have done a nice job on the non-bonded contaminants. And of course, as one would expect, it does not remove the bonded contaminants. I do think that if you really were interested in a little bit thicker foam, then you would probably want to add at least 3 ounces to your foam Canon solution instead of the 2 that I used, and maybe even 4. This is why I keep telling you guys that not only, you know, a lot of times the cheaper car wash up front is not really often the cheap car solution, because you have to use so much. I mean, these kind of cheap entry-level, value price, whatever you want to call them, car soaps are nowhere near the quality that you would get out of maybe a Chemical Guys, where you would just use 1 ounce, because they're so concentrated. But anyway, let me get our bucket set up and we will test the Black Magic in the hand bucket and see what kind of foamage we get out of that. Alright, so we are going to do the bucket portion of the test. When looking at this, you guys will see this stuff is completely, totally clear. It's, I'm going to say, of a very light viscosity. The scent, this is one of the most intense scented car soaps I've seen from any of these Walmart ones. It's very, very, very cherry scented. It's extremely strong. However, you cannot smell it when it's applied to the car. Some of the car soaps you can when they're applied. This one, it just dissipates, but when you're smelling it in its raw form, it's very, very aromatic. As I said, it's very light viscosity, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to foam up well. The water has I'm gonna say a light to medium feel to it, slickness, which is very good because that's what allows your mitt to glide over the surface. So let me get the pressure washer fired up and we'll see what kind of foamage we get when we agitate this. Alright, it took a few extra trigger pulls to get this soap agitated well. It's very weird. This is a very, very dense foam when it's in the bucket. There's not a lot of large bubbles. There are a few scattered in, but as a general, I guess, sample that I'm looking at is extremely tight foam structure. The water still has, after it's thoroughly mixed in and it's homogeneous, the water still has a very light slickness to it, that's good. I would not have expected this low of viscosity shampoo to have this slickness in it. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get my 5 wash mitts, and we're going to be testing to see how well this does in a hand wash. And the reason that I use 5 wash mitts and not the 1 wash mitt with 2 bucket methods is that I'm going to wash a panel or a portion of the car, then flip the mitt over, wash another portion, then I'm going to discard that mitt to be put in the laundry, because that's the only way to get all the dirt out. So I never take a dirty mitt and put it back in this water. At the end of the car wash, this water will still be pristine. I don't know why people don't really get this, but you cannot remove all the dirt in a 2 bucket method from using a grit guard and just rinsing it out. It's impossible. You can't do it. If you were to take really look at the mitt after you've rinsed it off in the 2 bucket method, there's still grit in there. I don't know why people don't understand that. But anyway, you do what you want. It's your car. This car is almost 2 years old and doesn't have a single swirl or scratch in it, and it gets washed by hand every single week. So anyway, let me get everything set up and we'll wash this car by hand. Alright, so I wanted to give my final thoughts on the Blackmagic car wash. It actually surprised me. I think that it did better than I anticipated it was going to do from just looking at how thin the viscosity of it was. I'm going to say that in our Walmart series and all the soaps that I've tested, it's a solid middle-of-the-road performer. It foams decently. It has a nice slickness to the water, and it cleans well. It wouldn't be my first choice. I think I would still say that the Gold Class car wash from Meguiar's is still far better, but I would probably say this was maybe a second place. And you know, I would definitely use it if I didn't have access to the Gold Class or some other of the better washes, maybe from Chemical Guys. But anyway, that's my assessment of the Black Magic. I hope that you guys found this helpful. We still have some more to do. I think we've got maybe 2 or 3 more car soaps to do to wrap up our Walmart Clean series. So I hope that you guys, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I try to put these videos out once a week so that you guys will stay up on the latest from all these car washes. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.